Yeah, obviously I'm super excited that our basketball team's 2-0. We're just trying to keep up with the men. Congrats to them for a great start of their season as well. Obviously we talk a lot about growth with our basketball team. I think we've seen quite a bit of growth in the first couple of weeks, so we want to continue to see that trend. We always want to progress every day. I know we're proud of what we did. We also try to correct things at the same time. We try to find ways to get better after wins as well, and hopefully we can carry it into another big week.
Questions? Coach, after the Avery injury, the point guard is a huge question mark. Going into Tulane, how did you guys adjust without having a true point guard?
Yeah, for us, we're having to slide some folks over to play different positions, and for us, that immediately meant Shannon and Chloe were moving from the wing to the point. Lisa Thompson is a point guard, so she's just getting more minutes. So those three have done a pretty good job filling in the gaps in the past couple of weeks.
Coach, you have the Kansas game coming up this weekend. You have a lot of transfer players, so they might not understand the rivalry aspect of this. How do you make sure you're really bringing this to the fans and your players to understand this rivalry?
Well, I'll tell you what, all of us new folks, right, that may not have ever experienced it prior to this year. We experienced the football game, okay? You have to have no emotions at all to not understand what just happened there. I think, honestly, that was about as good of a tutorial in the rivalry as we could have ever asked for. So we were all at the game. We know what it means. We understand it's a big deal.
Kellie, after the exhibition, you told us you were challenging your team's competitiveness. Over the last two games, have you kind of seen them kind of tackle that challenge? What do you still want to see moving forward?
Yeah, I think in the last two games, we had to make plays down the stretch to get the win. And we did. And I think that shows a level of competitiveness. I think it shows a level of focus and a level of growth for our team. I feel still pushing them in that area, that we're doing that in practice daily. But I liked our demeanor. I liked our poise. I liked our level of confidence in the last two games.
Coach, in that Tulane game, some of those three balls finally started to fall. What was it like, I guess, to kind of get the monkey off the back and start to see some of those deep balls go in?
Yeah, for us, we need to be able to shoot the ball well to get wins. We know that. We need to make threes. We expect to make threes. We also have to have a plan B if they don't go in. But I think for us, we knew it was just a matter of time before they started going in. We had good shooters taking good shots, and that's what you want. You can't draw it up any better than that.
Coach, what is the difference in the offense or the shot profile need to be when Jordana is on the floor versus when she's off and you guys go a little smaller?
Yeah, I think, we want to play through the paint. We do want the ball to touch the paint. Now, you can do that a variety of ways. You can get there with cuts. You can get there with drives. You can get there off the pass. She gives us a presence in the paint. When she's not in the game, that then belongs to Grace, which that's also a good option for us. I think we've really moved Grace around a lot. She's getting to play at the high post, the low post, the three-point line. I think that's good for her, and it's good for our team because we can utilize her versatility. So I don't know that it necessarily changes what we're looking for, because we still want to make sure we get those looks in the paint.
Yeah. With Grace, what's been the learning curve for her? It seems like her 2-point percentages in 2 games, but haven't been up to where they were. What's the learning curve for her in that role? Yeah,
I think she's getting good looks. She's just got to be a little bit more powerful off of 2 feet at the rim. She's just missing some that we know she's going to be able to make those.
Coach, the SEC has been completely dominant this year, winning by marks of 50, 70, and Mizzou's been competitive with a lot of these teams. As you gear up for SEC conference play, how are you going to adjust to make sure you're competitive with these teams that are destroying other teams?
We'll when we get there, we'll figure that one out. You're jumping ahead quite a bit. We've got, goodness, we're day to day right now, and we're really just focused on our next opponent, which is Arkansas State. And what you're going to see from that team, they're about to press us for 40 minutes, and they're going to really do a good job of getting threes off. Those are the two things that you know you're going to see from this basketball team. It's not, there's no surprises when they step out on the court. So this will be a huge challenge for us. So for us, I may be paying attention to what's going on nationally, but I'm focused on what's going on in our next game.
Without giving too much away, what is the plan to kind of defend that deep ball against Arkansas State and kind of stay communicative?
Well, I think one, you've got to know that that's what you're doing. You've got to know that you're going to get out and contest threes. A lot of times their threes are coming off of quick transitions, so they turn you over with their press and they're looking to kick out and get quick threes. So you've got to be prepared to transition quickly, and I think that's the first thing. We're not going to do a lot schematically different. We don't want to give up easy threes, period, in any game we go into.
Sanaya, Hannah, and Sydney, what is their status update?
Yeah, nothing's changed for us. We're still where we are with them and kind of evaluating them daily with our athletic training staff.
With 9 available players, Rika Toman has played a little bit of a bigger role. What have you seen from her, especially in someone in their first year of college basketball?
Rika is uncomplicated on the court. She's actually very easy to play with. She doesn't, she typically makes the easy play. And if that is just a one more pass to get an open three, her timing's good. She actually also, has very long arms, so her contest is a little bit higher than some other folks because she does have some pretty good length. And she gets it. She's very productive, whether it's getting a deflection, tipping the ball to a teammate, the little things that don't show up on the stat sheet, we feel like she's been doing a good job of in practice and when she gets in the games.
You've mentioned growth a lot the last couple of weeks. What do you see as kind of the next step in that growth over the next week or two?
I think for us, handling, well, let me think about that. Hold on. We've got to get a little bit more consistent with the basics for us. And that we have seen a lot of growth there. We're not quite there. We haven't quite checked the box off. So that's going to be the first thing. And then once we see that growth, then that allows us to expand our scouting report defense. It allows us to expand our packages a little bit more. So I think for us, being able to check some boxes now is going to open up some things later, if that makes sense.
Coach, maybe it's a coincidence, but I think every three y'all have made this season has been assisted to this point. Is that a coincidence or something with the way you want to set up those shots?
I think the way we play offensively, we want to move the ball, we want to share the ball. So I'm not surprised. I think that's how we're going to get the majority of our threes off.
As a whole, can you just talk a little bit more about that offense and what that pass and rhythm, I guess, and being able to share the ball, like you said?
Yeah, you'll see us in a 4-out. We'll see us in a 5-out at times, using ball screens, off screens. Whether we're getting some stagger action, some handoffs, we want to make sure we're fluid and the ball is moving. We don't want to be ball stoppers. We want the rhythm flowing. I think that's when we're going to get more threes. We're going to shoot better threes. We're going to be able to find drives. We don't want ball stoppers. If the ball stops and the ball sticks, then the defense gets set, and then you lose some rhythm and you lose some offensive advantage.
Shannon has
You're
been.
obviously-
Go ahead.
Kelly, I know you're obviously still in the growth process right now. You just mentioned it, but is there any advantage to kind of having these close games where your team is kind of seeing this adversity so early in the season and seeing how they respond to these kind of things?
Well, as a coach, it's a lot easier when they're not close games. But at the end, if you have one more point than the other team, yeah, we're getting a lot of we're having a lot of teaching moments right now. Whether that is teaching in the moment or with film later. We're the close games also kind of challenge you. Test what you're made of, and allows us to maybe address some issues, but also really learn about our team.
Shannon has played really well. Has been a consistent threat for the Tigers' offense. Talk to me about her game and where she can step it up in some areas.
Shannon's very aggressive, and that's who she is. When she catches the ball, she plays downhill. I think she's done a really good job offensively of of really pushing the ball. She does when she defensive rebounds, which she's done a great job of defensive rebound. When she defensive rebounds, the ball's in her hand. She moves the ball up the court really quickly. She gets 2 feet to the paint pretty consistently. We need that. She can knock down the open shot. I think consistency is an area that she could grow. If Shannon wanted to be a defensive stopper, Shannon would be a defensive stopper. She has, I think that's an area that she could grow in as well. So I mean, we're excited about her. I think she's been exactly who we thought she would be in terms of giving us what we need, athleticism on the perimeter.
Coach, Arkansas State can go stride for stride with you guys when you are pushing the pace with Shannon. How do you make sure that you slow down the game when you are playing this team?
I think the biggest challenge for our team is going at our pace and not their pace. And we do want to push the ball. We know that. But we want to do it because we want to do it. We see something and we want to go. So I think that's discipline. We've worked for a few days here with our press offense. And there's going to be a very important read that we're going to make every possession. Is this a read to attack? Is this a read to set it up? And I think we have to have both. We'll help them as much as we can as coaches, but in real time, we're going to have players making the right decision.
Who do you handle that press without maybe some of your natural ball carrying?
Yeah, I think for us, we're trying to get the ball in the hands of our guards is important, and then putting our other players in position to help is also very important.
In this early season, right, coaching is emphasizing, like, what do they hear from you, like, every day? If I asked them what they hear at night when they go to bed and they hear your voice, what do they hear every day?
Man, that's a good one. There's so much, so much. A lot of it is the defensive scheme, I think, for us. Talking about where we're sending the offensive player, I think that's the first thing. Pace is the second thing. They're hearing that a lot. They hear that word a lot. Pace, 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 pace. And it's not just run down the floor fast. It's play fast in the half court. That's where we really try to pick up our pace. I'd say those are the two big words. Loose balls is something that we challenge them with daily, and getting two hands on the ball. So, just teaching moments. So you probably got one thing offensively, one thing defensively, and a hustle play as well.
We'll take one or two more if you guys have them.
Coach, I got a question and a follow-up. So first of all, the KU game being played at the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City. What does it mean to play on a neutral site, in a sense, in this sort of larger arena?
Yeah, I think it's a good game to have on our schedule. I think playing it there is cool. We meet halfway and get after it. So I think it's good for our players to play some neutral site games as well. That's what we're going to do, tournament play. So I don't know. I'm just really excited about it. Really excited about the opportunity that we have when we go over there and play them.
And then follow up to that, what's the message to kind of Mizzou fans? I know it's a bit of a drive, especially the same day as a football game, to come out and support your team.
Yeah. So if you're really good at multitasking, this is the day for you. All right. So all our Mizzou fans, I need you to multitask. We got a lot to pull for that. We got a football game and we have a women's basketball game against KU. I'm sure the weather will be great. The drive, there'll be no traffic, so you'll be fine. But just making sure you tune in. Obviously, we don't. We know that football season's here, and it's still here. It's a big deal. We're pulling for them. I can't be at that football game. I am busy, so I can't be there. But I think just look at it as this is a great opportunity to work on your multitasking.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank y'all.